Roger, we do have a special air mission. We have located the asset. The gardener working in the greenhouse will not be available today. 10-4. Oh, well, we gotta go back to the greenhouse, folks. Buddy said hello to me. I added a few shelves, you can see. Alright folks, got this tomato from my brother's house in Greenville. It's about 150 miles east of Greensboro. It's not been as cold, so put that in the greenhouse. These are both my great-grandmother's rows. These are cuttings from last year. Alright, got some plums growing. Here's the pecan. Italian firs, those are about 15 years old. I had ordered years ago. I stratified them and they did swell up when I soaked them in water. Got some Honeycrisp apples right here. This is one of my 2 apples I got from the farmer's market in Greensboro last year. No, you see that whirl leaf? That's actually a butterfly bush right there. There's the dwarf crepe myrtles back there. Some more roses. These are the hardy kiwis from my aunt's house. I made a video a couple years ago on those. I have to wait a couple years to distinguish male female from them. I've got some mystery nuts in there. Got some cherries right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stratified them and soaked them. They swell up. And these are my 2 apple trees right here. Every American should have an apple tree in their yard. Alright. Stepping in the greenhouse. Got some arborvitae. Got some more Japanese cedar. Black dragon cryptomeria. Got some camellias. These are existing. See them? The buds growing out right there. These are the paper bark maples right here. I've got some Nellie Stevens and some different hollies we had in the front of the yard. Variegated Hollywood junipers. This is a knockout rose magenta. Right here, I've got some purple roses all in these. I've got about 50 of those. Maybe 60 of those. These are the white Calavacia, white and pink swirl ones right in here. We got some knockout pink, knockout magenta colored pink. I've got either the North Carolina or Virginia wild rose, swamp rose. I'll have to wait until they bloom. I got them near the border, that's all I'll say. Got some yellow rose cuttings right back in here. And these are some that I stepped up last week right there in their own little pots. Beautiful big long stem rose. That's some more of my dad's mother's rose. I separated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are over 60 years old right there. They're a white, beautiful long stem rose. And these are more of my great grandmother's right here. Now that back's just a knockout. I can tell by the darker green color. But these are that dark maroon. Those are from like the 70s probably. Now look at these Sango Kaku right here. They've only had those for about 3 or 4 weeks and they've already grown their own leaves right there. 3 of them. Isn't that cool? I've got some more back here that I saw the leaves breaking out way back there. Got some Rosa Sharon in there. And I've got some, those are purple smoke right there. Over here, we've got some Sango Kaku, I believe. These right here are some sycamore trees. We've got some more maples right here. This is a coral bark red. You can see them budding right there. A bunch of more maples down here. We got some azaleas right here. I've got some Leyland cypress right there. And there's the heater. Got a bunch of more maple cuttings right here. That's kind of like what they look like before I step them up. I'll be doing those in the next week or two. They should have a sufficient root system on them. But these are my hydrangeas that I potted up. I had them out. I stepped them out in the sun for a few hours every day. It's actually 71 degrees here. It's insane how hot it is here for mid-November in North Carolina. And one last thing I don't think I had shown, I take some giant Sequoia cuttings. I've had a tree for about 15, 16 years. And I put them in here just with a little hydrogen peroxide, and I'll spray that down because the needles do absorb. And there's some more maples. These are all my hydrangeas right here. These are the lime lights. You can see the little buds starting to break out. They're a little bit slow. And I've got a bunch of gardenias back here. And that's kind of what we started out on. Yeah, the John Deere mower makes collecting leaves easy and a nice leaf blower. Put them in the garden. But we got a bunch of gardenias. That's some ferns I've had existing. That's a Nellie Stevens, a Cuba. I forgot what type of holly that is. There's all these gardenias. Got some ferns. All these painted ferns I had in the shade. I stepped them out now. This is cooler. And more Cubas, Nellie Stevens hollies. I forgot what type of holly that one is. And there we go. This is what I do to keep the sun on both sides. East is that way, and it's up right there right now. And that'll keep the direct sunlight off of it. And now I can open that up. See? Pretty nice little setup, huh, folks? Gotta use your noggin.